Hi again, everybody. Today I want to offer a video that will have some more self-massage and also just some gentle movement. The focus will be some ease and relaxation in the neck and the jaw, which are totally related. So for today, we're going to be both sitting and lying down. The seated portion will happen first, and then the lying down. And for the seated portion, if you are not comfortable or not able to sit or kneel on the floor, no problem. Get yourself a chair or sit on the edge of your bed or your couch, wherever you are when you're doing this, and make sure that you're comfortable and supported. So there's no greater value to being able to sit or kneel on the floor. So just make sure that you're really comfortable. You'll also want just a little bit of massage lotion or oil, any kind of lotion that you love will work for the self-massage on our neck and throat portion of the video today. So to start off, make sure that you have told your loved ones or your dog, anyone who's in the house with you, that you're going to be doing this for a while, and to give you about 25 minutes of total space and quiet if possible. And go ahead and take your seat, however that's going to be, in your chair or kneeling on the floor. And I'm going to put just a little music on. Okay, so I'm going to be kneeling, but you be however is comfortable for you. So take a minute to just let your eyes close and let your awareness drop out of your head and into your body. And just take a second to breathe a few easy, full breaths. Sometimes it's sort of automatic that as soon as we bring attention to our breath, we start to try and do something with our breath, push on it or control it in some way. And see if you can just be as gentle and easy with your breath as possible, just watching it, but inviting it to be full. And feel how the breath is moving in your back and in your belly and your shoulders. And bring a little awareness into your mouth. Just check out, without needing to change anything, if you're clenching your jaw or your tongue. And if it feels good to you, on your next exhale, you'll take a nice full inhale, and on the exhale, go ahead and let out a little sigh or a or a moan, whatever wants to come out. Great. And still breathing, still easy, we're going to begin just a little stretch, for the neck. So inhale, and on your exhale, you're really gently going to begin to tip your head to the right so that your right ear is coming towards your right shoulder. And do this so slowly. And come up. And over to the other side. Left ear to left shoulder. And come up. And however quickly you are doing this, see if you can do it twice as slow. And maybe experiment or play with the degree of stretch that you are allowing yourself. So it might be that you just tip over and just barely engage a little stretch. Don't take it all the way as far as you can go. Just engage the muscle and then breathe. And back up and the other side. And just engage the muscle. Maybe lengthen and deepen a little as you breathe, but without any real pushing or triggering. What we don't want to do is trigger an intense pain response that will actually cause the muscle to shorten instead of lengthen and relax. So really easy, gentle back and forth, ear to shoulder. And try not to raise your shoulder. Try to let the shoulder be at ease and the head is moving. And you might feel as you begin to tip side to side that whole side of your body wants to arc. Maybe the ribs will start to lengthen. Maybe you'll feel your hip shift, and that's fine. That whole side can begin to take part in the stretch. Side to side. And when that feels good and you're ready to move on, go with what feels good to you. Then we're going to shift and we're going to turn our chin toward the shoulder. So looking towards your left shoulder. Breathe. Back through center. And over to the right. And we're going to do this several times, slowly with your breath. And if you get to a spot where it feels really good to go ahead and lean into the stretch, without really triggering a pain response, but still kind of leaning fully into the stretch and it feels really delicious to you, then pause and breathe. And the other side. This side's way tighter for me. Maybe you feel it right along here, like I do. And do that several times also. Do it just so that it feels good to you. And when you're ready to stop, then stop. And now we're going to add a little massaging portion to the stretch. So go ahead and take your right hand and put it on your left shoulder. And before we do anything, just let the hand rest on the shoulder and really feel the weight of your hand and potentially the soothing feeling of your own touch on your own shoulder. Kind of give yourself this gesture of kindness and also just this increased awareness of your own shoulder by placing your hand on it. And when you're ready, go ahead and take a big chunk of muscle, of shoulder muscle in that hand. So you're grabbing just like that big chunk of flesh in your hand. And with that big chunk, and you might have to kind of let go and do it again a few times as we do the stretch, and that's totally fine. So with the muscle all bunched up in your hand, you're once again going to begin to tip your head so that the ear is coming toward the shoulder. And back up, and maybe readjust the hand so that you're getting that nice big chunk of muscle. And then tipping again. Breathing. And as you do this, continue the movement slowly, but feel down through your body as you do the movement and notice if there's anywhere that you're gripping or clenching that you don't need to. So maybe you're clenching in your belly or your lower back or your pelvic floor or your knees, and see if you can allow that to ease. And when you're done with this Readjust the hand again and chin to shoulder. So looking over that shoulder again. Still holding on with your hand and that nice big chunk of muscle. And do that several times. And when you're done with that, we'll switch sides. So once again, just kind of feel your hand on your shoulder, let that hand go, and then raise your left hand to your right shoulder, and just pause for a minute to feel the contact of your own hand with your own shoulder, and allow that to be a soothing kind of hello shoulder, soothing touch. Let your eyes close. Breathe. Notice if your breath is kind of up in your head and your throat again, and see if you can allow it to drop down into your body. And then as you're ready, head will start to tip to the opposite side. So left ear is going to left shoulder and back up, and do that several times. Getting that nice big chunk of muscle in that hand. And spend several minutes, however feels good to you. Excuse me. And then when you're ready to switch, kind of readjust the hand as needed, and then begin to turn your chin towards the left shoulder, still gripping with the left hand on the right shoulder, and dropping down into your body. Notice if you're clenching anywhere you don't need to be. And when you're done, let your hand rest on that shoulder again. Nice full breath. And let the hand come down and relax. So now we're going to do a little bit of massage on the muscles on the side of the neck and this lovely serpentine muscle that comes around the throat and connects up here. So get your lotion or your oil. You just need a tiny bit. You don't want your hand to be all sloppy moving up and down your neck and throat. Just a little bit, unless you're extremely dry there, but just a little bit on both sides of the neck. And even just this slow motion of applying lotion to your own neck and throat can be really soothing. So can you do this in a way that allows it to be a really soothing and nurturing movement? Okay, so go ahead and bring your left ear to your left shoulder. Let the shoulder relax, and then take your right hand, and you're going to begin to drag your fingers and kind of angle your fingers so you're beginning to dig into the flesh, but you're going to start right below your ear and drag down the side of your neck and all the way out the shoulder. And if you have a shirt on, you probably want to open it up a little bit so that you can get to this top of your shoulder blade and to your neck, or the top of your shoulder, I mean. So once again, fingers kind of crooking into the skin a little bit, right below the ear, and then go right down the neck, the side of the neck, and then out the top of the shoulder. And do that several times. So your ear is down towards your shoulder, and you're going down and down, and down. And now, as you begin to drag the fingers down the side of the neck, you're going to begin to tip the head in the opposite direction. So your hand is going down the side of the neck and out the shoulder, and the head is tipping the opposite direction to exaggerate the stretch. And do that several times. Breathing.
And if there's a spot that you find where there's a good healthy knot, then go ahead and pause there and dig in with your fingertips. And do that several times. Now we're going to switch to this lovely muscle. So it starts where your jaw and your ear come together, and it wraps around the side of your neck, the front of your neck, towards your throat, and then comes right down to your collarbone right here. So just feel around on yourself for that, and then slowly begin to drag the fingers. And I'm using 3 fingers slightly spread apart in a little claw, and I'm dragging down and around and dragging down and around. And now I'm going to tip my ear down and then slowly raise my head and tip my ear back at an angle, so that it elongates that muscle. And maybe I'll come even a little further forward towards my jaw and drag down from there and tip my head back all the way down to the front of your neck. Tip the head down and then begin to look up, dragging down along the throat, and do that several times. And go back to between the ear and the jaw, dragging down and around and all the way to the collarbone. And do that several times. And then when you're done, maybe just place a gentle hand on your neck and your shoulder. And then we'll switch to the other side. A little more lotion if you need it. Maybe you've absorbed all of that lovely lotion already. Make sure that as you touch yourself, you do it really gently and welcomingly, like you would want to be touched, if someone else was touching you. So once again, tip the ear to the shoulder and dig those fingers in right below the ear, and then down the side of the neck and all the way out the top of the shoulder. Move your shirt or tank top or whatever if you need to, and do that several times, breathing. And then we're going to switch to elongating the muscle as you drag down. So tipping the head away from the shoulder as your hand moves out the shoulder. Down the neck, onto the shoulder, out the shoulder. Oh yeah. And do that several times. And I'm kind of digging into my neck like this with my fingers. And as you're ready, come around to this lovely muscle. Start between the ear and the jaw and drag down the front towards your throat. Not all the way onto your, vocal cords and your windpipe. That's no good. So you're staying just to the side of that and wrapping around down to your collarbone. So it's serpentine around. And now we're going to begin to heads tip down, and then slowly raise your gaze and tip the head back, kind of at an angle, so you can elongate the muscle. And do that several times. Breathing, and letting your awareness drop down into your body as you breathe, and noticing if you're clenching anywhere that you don't need to, your back, your belly, your pelvic floor, your knees. And when you're done, go ahead and let your hand relax, just rest on that right shoulder. Take a nice breath and let that go. So as you're ready, go ahead and lie down on your back and make sure that you're really comfortable. So make sure that if you need some support under your knees, if that feels better for your back, then please do that. So lie back, and it's best if you do not have a pillow or anything under your head, so that you can feel the movement of the neck, and there's nothing hindering the movement of the neck. So support under the knees, nothing under the head. And it also might be best if you do this on a slightly firm surface, so on the floor or on yoga mats. But if your bed is really squishy, then that might not be the best surface. So lay back and let your eyes close once again, and breathe and feel down into your body and feel how your body feels in this new orientation. Let your awareness sort of wash down through your body as you breathe, feeling into the sensations of your shoulders, your chest, all the way down each arm, into your belly. Feel how your back is resting on your mat or the floor. Feel the sensation of your hips, and let your awareness wash down through each leg, all the way down your right leg, all the way down your left leg, into your feet, and breathe. And now let your awareness come into your mouth, and just without doing anything, kind of check out the sensations of your mouth. See if you can feel your tongue, the roof of your mouth, your teeth, and notice if there's any space between your teeth or not. Again, no need to change anything, just keep breathing. This is just arriving more fully into the sensations of your body. And now let your awareness come into your eyes and really feel the weight of your eyes, the volume of your eyes. Notice if they're clenched at all. And see if you can allow them to ease a little. And then come back to your mouth. And we're going to do a little movement with the jaw that I love to do, and I do all day. Because I've historically been a jaw clencher, and it's taking me lots and lots of years to untrain myself from that pattern. And it's really directly connected to tension, especially right along this area of the neck. So if you experience neck tension, a lot of times working with softness in the jaw can directly correlate to a little more ease, finding a little more ease in that part of your neck also. So feeling your jaw for just a minute, we're going to open our mouths kind of wide, not so wide that, again, it triggers a pain response. That's not what we want, but we do want, just a little bit more than maybe you're used to opening your mouth. So, and then slowly bring your mouth to a close, really slowly. So, and again, Do that several times. I can kind of feel my neck start to unwind as I release that jaw. So if your head wants to begin to sort of tip slowly side to side or circle a little bit as you're playing with your jaw, then let it do that. The next time that you go to close your mouth, so bring it open, hold it there for a breath, and as you begin to close, experiment with this sensation of dissolving any effort in the jaw, so that the teeth begin to come towards each other on their own without you really doing anything. So instead of using muscular effort,
to close the jaw. Instead, you're just going to float, as the effort here dissolves, you're just going to float the teeth together. And experiment with that several times. You might have no idea what I'm talking about. Like that might be a really foreign idea for you, but just play and see if you can find a way to dissolve effort in the jaw. And then as you dissolve holding and pushing in the jaw, see if that naturally allows your teeth to begin to move toward each other until you find neutral position again. And play with that several times. And I'll invite you to do this several times, and please continue to do this. Continue to breathe, and also just quickly scan down through your body and notice if you're holding any tension anywhere that is not helpful and not needed. So belly, back, hips, pelvic floor, and see if you can allow that to let go. And now we're going to begin a little gentle movement with the head. So your head's going to stay flat on the surface that you're lying on, and you're really slowly, gently, easily going to begin to roll the head from side to side. So the back of your head stays in contact with the floor, and you're going to begin to roll the head to the right and back to center. And however quickly you are doing that movement, see if you can do it twice as slowly. So rolling the head over to the right, head's in contact with the floor. You're rolling across the back of your skull and then back to center, even more slowly, even more easily, even more gently. And also experiment with not necessarily taking your head to its full range limit. Instead, play with the non-habitual, maybe, idea of just going, a little bit to the right and back to center, and a little bit to the right and back to center, and see if you can make that movement slow and delicious and easy. It's, I think for most of us, it's pretty habitual to, if we're doing a movement, to take it to the point at which we hit up against our own limit. Like, I can only take my head, this far, and then it's going to stop moving. And so that means I'm doing it. So see if you can do less, and if that still feels like you're doing something, because you are. The more slowly we go, and just experimenting with range of motion allows us to feel a different potential of movement in our neck. And it means that we don't necessarily just go right into our habits. Our habits are perhaps what are causing tension and pain in the neck anyway. So we're trying to unwind and undo some of those habits by moving in a slightly different way. So when you're done playing with rolling to the right and back to center, we're going to roll to the left and back to center. And just as we did on the right, keeping the back of your head in contact with the floor, rolling across the back of the head to the left, and going slowly and gently and back to center and over to the left and back to center. And can this movement be easy and delicious and effortless? And feel like you could really do this for a long time. And could you do this movement in a way where you felt like each time you did it, it actually got easier? And could you drop your attention down into your body, feel your breath, and just scan quickly and notice if you're clenching anywhere in your jaw, chest, belly, pelvic floor, down into your knees. And continue that movement really slowly. And if at any time you're motivated to sigh as you breathe, and do that. And back to center, and then let that go. And on the left, as you were on the right, play with range of motion, play with, just, if you just do it a tiny bit, and back to center, does that feel, what does that feel like? What does that feel like to you? Play with that a little bit. And when you're ready to be done on that side, come back to center. And just take a nice full breath, easy breath, no pushing. And feel into both sides of your neck now. And see what you see. What is there to feel in your neck now after that easy, gentle movement? And if it feels good to you, go ahead and roll the head all the way from right to left. Again, playing with range of motion and tempo. And do that a few times, just back and forth, breathing. And when you're done, come back to center. Neutral. And just take a few breaths, letting your awareness come down into your body again, feeling especially the contact of your body with the surface that you're lying on. And is there any way you could let that surface support you even a little bit more? Can you let go of some of that effort of holding yourself up that we habitually have in an upright position? Sometimes we carry that through into lying down. Can you let any of that go and just let the floor hold you as you breathe? And when you're ready, you can let your eyes start to open and take your eyes for a little walk around the room without really trying, just kind of cast them around the room and see if there is something that naturally, organically, effortlessly catches your attention in a way that brings you even a little bit of pleasure, even a little bit of joy. Maybe there's a photograph you love, or maybe the light is catching, an angle of something on your wall in a way that is soothing and satisfying to you. Maybe there's a color in your room that you love. And let your eyes focus on that for a few breaths and draw that beauty into you with your inhale, as though you could fill yourself up with that color or that light or that picture, just like bathing yourself in it.